Kumusta ka mo? Hi, it's Viktoria Vox. Now I'm gonna enter this episode with a song. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about sex. So, in this episode, I have been collaborating with a very talented and artistic Christina Taylor. This is her Instagram page. Her username is Wild Woman Writing. Yes, hot. So this is not going to be the first and the last time that you're going to hear about sex in this makeup therapy series. Give me some love down below. Could you please? Nami lang ibanda ako mag-think positive, pero kung sa sex gani, though nahigkuan, gid sila daw nadamakan balahaw. Why? If you were made with consensual sex, you have no reason to be disgusted by it. The problem is when you get shamed for being sexually active, or you get shamed for having sex for the first time. Sometimes you also get shamed if you don't have sex. And sadly, people even get shamed for being raped. Have you ever felt sexual shame? We'll be talking about that in this video. Sexual shame starts as early as when a child gets scolded for touching himself. Masturbation and sex are sinful acts according to religion. But does that really stop people from doing them? Sexual shame makes it hard for parents and people in general to discuss about sex in a positive way. Dati sa aton, swerte mo na lang kung ang ginikanan mo open-minded. Pagkabalo magsabat sang insakto. Ang ibang nga bata na hadlok mamangkot kay basi akigan sila or they get shamed for it. Kay mga lain-lain ko ng mga gasulod sa ulo nila. O kundi man, hambalaan ka nila nga, mabalaan mo na lang na kung magdako ka na. When a child is molested by a family member and you blame the child, not the abuser, that's also actually a form of sexual shaming. They're being shamed for something that was done to them. Why blame the child when the adult certainly has more power? Why blame the rape victim and not the rapist? See? Sexual shame runs deep. Whether it's about a leaked video, a scandal, a porn film, or just knowing someone's had a sexual activity, grabe na dayon mag-judge. The way women are criticized and shamed for having sex is a reflection of society's misogyny. The way women are shamed for even speaking out for themselves. The way women judge and shame other women, it just shows how sick society is, and it all comes from sexual shame. You see it in the way girls are being taught that they shouldn't be like other girls who are rumored to be promiscuous, or else they'll be talked about and labeled as bigaon. Uy, si Jessica bala, naglaplapan sila ni Michael kagabi sa Smallville. You see it also when little girls are sexualized, like, for example, getting called sexy for wearing skimpy clothes. Tapos sila pa yung akigan niya kung magwa ila panty kay ginpalit sang hangin ng ila palda. There was even a time where women were judged for wearing pants. Diin na lang taya ilugar lawas tabi. You give them nicknames for their genitals instead of proper names. You cover their eyes when actors are kissing in a movie scene. You say sex is wrong and dirty, and then you tell them to only do it with the one you marry. And some kids are told to do it with someone they love. Wow. It's that bad, but it's okay to do it with someone you love? These are all confusing for kids. By now we figured out that social shame is caused by parents and adults, and that's why it's so hard for generation after generation to talk about sex to their kids. We need to break this cycle. When you're ashamed to do something, you're either too scared to do it or you do it scared. It affects how you feel about certain things, even with the non-sexual aspects of your life. Sexual shame ignites rebellion. Sexual shame makes a teenager or a young woman rebellious. In the effort of trying to get rid of the guilt and embarrassment that she knows she isn't supposed to feel, she might end up overdoing it. Sexual shame teaches hostility in one's own self. Sexual shame makes a child feel ashamed about their genitals because they're given nicknames for it instead of the proper names. They hide their private parts not because they know that it's private, but because their caretakers have shamed them before teaching them privacy. Sexual shame makes you lose your voice. When a person is sexually shamed early in life, They might find it hard to open up about their sexual boundaries with their partners. They may feel afraid to say no or set a limit. And you know what? It's not just about sex. It's also about personal hygiene and everything outside of sex, from the food you eat, to the products you use, to the things you do. Sexual shame keeps you from being firm on saying no. Ang pareho lang na balang apiliton, kaubuso ng imo pagkaon sa pinggan mo, maskin busog ka na haw. Or kung ginapilit ka pa na balang imno ng isa pagid ka shot, maskin hindi ka na balahaw. Or kung piliton ka mag-intra sa grupo nga hindi mo man gusto pag-itrahan. Sexual shame makes you lose agency of your body. Your sense of control being taken by the people who made you feel ashamed to know your body, yourself, and your boundaries. Sexual shame makes you neglect your needs. How is your physical self-care going down there? Sexual shame keeps a person from taking care of their body appropriately. You may be cleaning yourself the wrong way or using the products that are actually not good for your vagina. There is shocking, misleading stuff like vagina tightening soaps. Sexual shame grows insecurities. Sexual shame makes you less confident about your body and the way you carry yourself. It makes you less open and expressive when it comes to making love. Sexual shame ignores the love language of physical intimacy. Sexual shame keeps a lot of couples from discussing what they really want and need before they get into bed with each other. Whether you're about to get married and have never done it, or when you're about to have sex with a new partner. Ang budlay da, kay damo nga mga couples, wala pa na ka-explore sang ilang own sexuality before getting into a commitment, or they're not honest about what they want. Love isn't just a feeling, it's a verb. Sexual shame breeds ignorance and subservience. It keeps a person from knowing their bodies intimately. If you can touch your body freely, how will you master it? Is someone else supposed to be the master of your own body? Shouldn't you be the one who chooses what to allow and what to do? Hindi bala deserve mo man matunaan tanan nga parte sang lawas mo? Do kalaway man ay ang kanalan submissive pero ang babae sa iya nga bana dapat magpakanubo ka kag magsunod sa bana mo. Don't you think it's wrong that you're not allowed to question anything or say no as a wife? Sexual shame overshadows the beauty of consensual sex. Shame makes consensual sex sound so distasteful, but it's the shame that makes it filthy, not sex. It's how you claim sexually deviant women have no self-respect when it's actually you who have no respect for women who do things you disapprove of. Sexual shame makes you look at women as objects to own and dispatch. I've heard this term called gamit when it comes to sex. I heard a woman say this about a guy. Kapila naman na siya nakagamit sa akon. And sometimes a guy would say about his female partner, ikapila ko na siya magamit. You're literally saying a man used you for sex, and you're literally saying you used a woman for sex. You know what? The patriarchy wouldn't be so great without the ignorance and the assistance of women. Women who, because of being raised in patriarchal societies, are heavily shaming other women for being sexually active or provocative. They can't just let other women live. It's sad when a woman thinks she's being used for sex, or that she has to give herself for different reasons. But women are seen as humans to be taken, to be conquered, to be won. Guys are here literally saying, nakuha ko na siya, nakuha mo ang ano, nakasex man ka mo or wala, she never lost anything. Sa tuod lang gidya bala, wala gidya may kakadula sa babayi pagkatapos niya magka-sex, Pero, kung ang panulukan mo sa lawas mo, kag sa kasex mo, naglain, then you need to change that because sex does not diminish a person's worth. It does not diminish a person's worth, okay? We're ashamed to buy condoms or lubricants from drugstores because we're conditioned to think that sex before marriage is sinful. We're ashamed to buy pregnancy tests because of how we think people will think of us, that we're such distasteful women for having sex before marriage. What's the use of being a Catholic country, yet we have a higher than average teenage pregnancy in Asia? It's time we talk about sex like adults. But first, we need to get rid of sexual shame. How do we do it? The first step to overcoming your sexual shame is to admit that you have it and that you've had it for a while. Then you have to know that it's not your fault and you deserve to be over it. It's okay to explore your own body. It's okay to touch yourself. It's not a bird. It's penis. It's not vajayjay or flower. It's vagina. Hindi na binastos. It's called education. It's your body. I actually bought a book for my child to teach him about his private parts. It's called Ako Ay May Isang Titi. This is what a cover of the book looks like. If you want to explore sex with your partner, open your mind to being educated about your body and your partner's body. When you see your partner as a human being and treat them with basic respect, you get to prioritize safety. You help make it safe for the both of you. You also get to prioritize their pleasure. Kung ano man daang nanamitan nila, basta okay sa inyo nga duha. And you don't just ghost them as if nothing happened. When you don't see your partner as a human being who deserves dignity and respect, you're treating them like an object. This is where the line is drawn. You can admire them, but you can't touch them without their consent. Teach basic respect. Sex does not make you unworthy of respect. Kung wala kaya respeto sa tao nga kapag sexy mo, abi pagpahimo yung ka na lang da sa banga. Pasalamat ka na lang tali nga may partner ka, di bala? Hindi nga daw kung ano man ang may natabo sa inyo, daw wala ka na dayan labot sila. Wala ka kamusta sang pamatyagan nila. Or to even check on them the day after. It's basic human decency. When you respect the people you're going to bed with, you're helping erase shame around sex. Own your body. Nobody should be shamed or feel ashamed about having sex or wanting to experience it, not wanting to experience it, or even having fantasies about it. Tawo ka lang. It is not wrong. It always comes back to it's your body. Bisan asawa mo pa na, bisan nanay mo pa na, bisan utod mo pa na, bisan bata mo pa na. You are not anyone's property. You own your body, so own it. This is the 29th episode of this makeup therapy series, and if you like content such as this, please hit the like, the share, comment your thoughts down below, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye.